Welcome back, my amazing artists. So, we have been talking all about patterns and how patterns help to make everything look more exciting, okay, by adding polka dots and stripes and zigzags. So, I have a really great book that I want to read to you, and it's about a little owl who has a great imagination and he wants to go on an adventure. And when he does, he meets some other owls, but they don't like him because he is only one color and he is not patterned like them. So we're going to have a great little story first, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. All right, hope you enjoy. Little White Owl by Tracy Corduroy.
Once there was a little white owl who lived by himself in the snow. He didn't have a mummy. He didn't have a daddy. He didn't even have a name. But he didn't really mind too much. It had always been like that, and his head was full of happy stories. Sometimes he was a brave white knight, and sometimes he was a snowflake. Sometimes he was a rocket blasting off to the moon. But every night at bedtime, he sat on his favorite branch, nibbling toast spread with strawberry jam and counting the stars by himself. Then, one day, he looked at the big blue sky that stretched on forever. "I wonder what's out there," said the little white owl. So he packed his teddy and his clock, and it was time to see the world. For days, the little white owl flew over turquoise oceans and deserts of gold. Then he spotted the prettiest trees, sprinkled with tiny jewels. So down, down, down he swooped. But wait! Those jewels had beaks. They were owls, lovely owls, owls just like him. "Would anyone like a bite of toast?" he said. But the lovely owls sat quiet and still. They didn't want to spoil their perfect feathers. "How very plain you are," groaned the green. "No colors at all," sniffed the dotty red. "You don't belong with us. Go away." "But I do have colors," cried the little white owl. "Here, in my heart. And bumping up and down in me are lots of happy stories. I'll share them with you if you want me to." The owl sat and thought. Then, sighed the blue. "Well, a story might help pass the time." "Fine, but just one," said the flowery pink with a yawn. So the little white owl swung on a branch with his little teddy, and he munched his toast and shared a happy story. "Aww," breathed the blue owl dreamily when the little white owl had finished. The other owls all glared at her. "Oops, sorry," she blushed. "But couldn't we have just one more?" So the little white owl closed his eyes, and magical stories came pouring from his heart. Colorful tales of castles and knights and dragons with fiery breath, and blasting through moonbeams and counting bright stars and tumbling down like a snowflake. Slowly, and rather to their surprise, the owls began to smile. "Ah," they breathed. Then suddenly, "More!" cried everyone. At last, when all his toast had gone, the little white owl checked his clock. "Oh gosh, I have to go," he gasped. "Back to my sparkly home. I need to feel the snow and count the stars." But then a blue wing fluttered and a tail of dotty red began to switch. "Oh, take us too," cried the pretty owls, sweeping into the sky. "We want to feel your fluffy snow and count your sparkly stars, and play and laugh and tumble just like you." So the little white owl led them home, where they tumbled and twirled on the ice. Like splashes of rainbow, they speckled the snow with their colors brighter than ever. Later, they huddled together and sipped warm cocoa. "Tomorrow, when we fly home," said the blue, "the white clouds will remind us of you. Promise you'll visit very soon?" "Oh, I promise," smiled the little white owl. "And you can tell me all of your stories." Then he snuggled up on his favorite branch and was soon dreaming happy dreams as a huge silver moon lit the deep dark sky that stretched on and on forever.
All right, let's look at some of those birds. How beautiful they are with all those patterns. What kind of patterns do you see? Hearts, zigzags, stripes, flowers? All right, so now that you saw those beautiful patterned birds, we are going to make our own beautiful patterned owls, okay? So you are going to need for this project 3 of the small plates. If you don't have these or can't get to them, just trace 3 circles on paper. I just used a bowl to trace these. So you're going to need 3 circles, whether it's a plate or drawn. And then this is one of the few projects that I like to use with regular paint like tempera or acrylic. So if you can get a little bottle at Walmart, you only need a couple colors and it would be fine. If not, I'm sure watercolors and markers, you can get creative and use those for coloring as well. All right, so grab your supplies and I will show you what to do. All right, so I have my 3 circles. Okay, you can use paper or the paper plates. And so now you can decide what color owl do you want, okay? So I'm going to show you some examples. You could do the purple one like I showed you, or maybe some green and yellow, or maybe a red and orange, or even some different colored blues like I showed you, okay? So the reason we do that is because we want to limit our colors, because if we add too many colors, you might get a yucky brown. Okay, so I've got some colors that are close to each other in the rainbow, like yellow, green, and blue. They kind of all work together, okay? So we are going to be painting. Hopefully you have some paint. Even if you have watercolors, that will work fine, okay? So how do I paint my circles? Okay, so maybe I want to start with one color. Notice I'm holding my paintbrush just like a pencil. Water helps to spread out the paint. Don't forget the edges. Also, just a reminder, you might want to put some newspaper down just to help protect your tables. All right, I'm ready for a new color. So we wash, swish, and then I brush the side, never tap because you're gonna splatter paint everywhere. Just brush, and now I'm ready for a new color. How about some white? Maybe I'm gonna swirl a big white spiral pattern. All right, I got one done. Let's put that aside. Okay, I'm gonna paint the other 2. If I want to make a new color, here's how I do it. I'm gonna take 1 part green and 1 part blue and mix on the side. Mix, 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 mix. Oh, let's make it more blue. And that is going to give me a teal color. So let's do some zigzags. All right, and I'm just going to show you what it might look like if you use just plain circles. You can do the same exact thing. So this project is actually a 2-week project. So this week we're going to just be painting 3 paper plates or 3 circles. You can use paint. If you really don't have anything, markers are okay. I just want to see lots of different patterns on them. All right, so this week you're just doing that much, and then next week I'm going to show you how to cut and glue and make it into an awesome owl. All right, have fun, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.